It's your boy Jones coming to you guys live, representing that ROD here at the Mikasa, El Capata, whatever that means. But I'm in the crib, and I want to talk about something. And when you look on the side, let's talk about mental health. So they say. So over the last few years, mental health has been a major topic in discussion that's been going on in the quote unquote black community. A lot of people now is bringing awareness to this. A lot of people now is building the confidence to talk about it, which is great. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you, putting the pride aside and letting people know what you're going through. But the number one mental illness nobody wants to talk about is the foundation of it all, the root of it all. And that root is called post-traumatic slave syndrome. We can talk about all the anxieties, stress, panicking, depression, phobia, all of these signs of mental illness that we could talk about. But all of these things stem from something. And that something is the post-traumatic slave syndrome. See, the reason why I don't dive into stuff like this, because when we express these type of concerns, and when we go to experts or licensed individuals, people with degrees, and we go to them for these problems, their main focus is to only focus on the anxiety. But it seems that nobody in those positions never, ever challenge the foundation of it all. And that foundation is post-traumatic slave syndrome. The foundation is the stress and the conditions that you have created upon people of color. And let's not act like we did not try to do things on our own. When you look back at history, when you look at Oklahoma, and you look at Caribbean islands, and you look at places in Africa, before European presence, everything was fine. Nobody was complaining about anxiety, depression, none of this. It was none of these. You could look in history. None of these things was ever bought or ever spoken of, because it was never there. See, these things come here when you continuously put mental stress on a particular people or nation. Like I tell everybody all the time, if you was to walk from your house, let's just say from your house to Washington D.C., let's say from New York to Washington, and you was on foot, and every car that you passed, every person that you passed, and they called you stupid and dumb, by the time you got to your destination, you were perceived to be stupid. You would think that you're really stupid. You would think that you're really dumb. And because of you would think that, you would begin to start operating like that. You see? You see where I'm coming with this? So the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of times we open up to our problems, but there's never no solutions, because the biggest problem is the systematic format, the Constitution, all of these things, all of this systematic racism that was put into place to keep a particular people above all people on a land that's not even theirs. And you can call it, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but the truth is the truth. What's mental illness, man? Mental illness is the frustration, the poverty, the nonsense that we as people of color got to deal with every day. You know why that person is depressed? 9 out of 10 times he's depressed for something that happened. Women gets depressed because they were sexually abused. Where did this abuse come from? Where this behavior was taught? Let's get to the root of these problems. See, when you don't get to the root of these problems and you continuously putting band-aids on it or prescribe medication to then put more harm to the person's body long term, because let's be honest, when you look at these prescription pills that they tell you to take, they be like, oh yeah, take this, take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pills a day, and it will help you. It will help you cope with your situation. Meanwhile, when you read the fine print, if you exceed that, you could close your liver. You could shut down your liver. You could catch heart attacks. You can't mix this. You can't mix that with alcohol. You can't do X, Y, and Z. But yet we're given all of this. I was just yesterday. I found out about this musician named Donnie Hathaway, whatever his last name is. I never knew about this man. Never knew about him. Kind of find out this dude was battling schizophrenia and all of that. Gave this dude 13 pills to take a day. 13 pills. But nobody seems to get to the root of the problem. And I could take it spiritual and tell you that it's demons and all of that. But y'all not biblically learned for me to go down that path with y'all. Y'all not knowledgeable enough. You know what I'm saying? The word of God is too powerful for certain individuals. And some of y'all is too blinded by darkness where you can't even see it. And even if it was presented to you, you still wouldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? The scripture say, he that got eyes to see, let him see, ears to hear, let him hear. So certain things that I say, I know it's not for everybody. But I'm going to be all things to all men. And I'm going to tell you the reason why a lot of us is suffering is because of the post-traumatic slave syndrome. It's because these people won't take their foot off our necks. It's because these people won't let us prosper. It's because these people promote us to be animals and criminals and gangsters and murderers, drug dealers, prostitutes. And the only way to be a successful black man, you have to be an entertainer. Or you got to be an ass kisser, a coon, some people might say. You got to take those routes in order to be successful. When we try to get it out the mud, and I'm saying collectively as a community, we get bombs dropped on us. We get raids taking place. Brothers and sisters will wake up and see like enough is enough. We need to come together and take back our communities. You guys take it as a domestic terrorist. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. You don't think people's gonna be dealing with depression, seeing their father in a casket, being killed, seeing their loved ones in jail, doing life? What you think that's gonna cause? Seeing their mother struggle, seeing their parents dealing with X, Y, and Z type of relationships, left to right. Because in the American dream, you get married, the white picket fence, children, you know, do X, Y, and Z from beginning to the end. That's what we're sold, but that's not what we're told. Ooh, pay attention to the pay attention pay attention to the knowledge, man. That's what we're told, but that's not what's being sold. You understand? So when I hear brothers saying, "Yo, we need to speak up," you a coward if you don't talk about mental illness and you don't talk about your problem. We all got problems. We all got mental issues. And it stands for post-traumatic slave syndrome. We are mentally fatigued for the nonsense. We're tired of the nonsense that you people are putting us through. We ask to be left alone. We don't want to participate in none of your shenanigans. We want to be left alone. We want the opportunity to govern our community. We want to be left alone. We did enough for you guys. America is America through the hard work of slaves and remains standing because y'all taking advantage and y'all prospering off our struggle. And you know that. I gotta go to one of you guys to sit down and tell you my anxiety problems. And then in return I get a bill that's so much that I can't pay it, that I gotta pray that I have Medicaid to cover the large amount, and I just pay the difference. But even that, still cashing out. And what do you guys do with that money? Are you giving it back to the community? Are you helping us with these anxieties, this depression, schizophrenia, etc.? Are you helping us? Or are you guys just taking that money and putting it in your bank account, go on vacations, making sure your children go to the best schools, making sure your children don't come nowhere next to these people that comes to you and confidentially to tell you their problems? Make it make sense, man. See, when I talk this talk, people be thinking I be bugging. I don't be bugging because I know the game. It's a game. From the minute we was born, we knew it was a game that's being played. I knew it was chess, not checkers. I knew it was a puzzle. You know the puzzles that got like a billion pieces that you gotta have patience to put it all together. I knew that. But some of us don't know that. Some of us is just too afraid to point the fingers at those that's causing the problem. We didn't actually be in poverty. When you look at history, when we was governing our own, we was doing fine. When you look at Africa, we was doing fine. It's when you Europeans come along and you set up shop, that's when everything rot. See when it rhymes? It's because it's meant to go together. And it's not, and this is not me bashing you guys. I'm not bashing the Europeans. I could care less on what y'all do. We are two genetically different individuals. Our thought process is different. Your mind, it's cool to enslave people, murder, slaughter, kidnap. In my mind, I love. I love all men that love me. I love all those that love me. See the difference? We genetically, spiritually are people like that. That's why after 400 years of suffering and slavery and misery, we still open our arms and embrace y'all with love. I wish it was the other way around, but it's not. And it never will be. And we all know why. I know why. You read Genesis 26, it'll tell you why. But it's all right. It's okay. The moral is it's almost over. This is the moral of it all. It's almost over. Enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it. And for the brothers that's going through all of this stress and all that, you're gonna have to man up. You're gonna have to dig deeper. You're gonna turn off your TV and understand that you was born in a war. You was born to play a game. And only cowards complain. Warriors, they acknowledge it, they embrace it. Because they know, we know that the God that created the whole universe got our back. And he's gonna set us free. Whether these heathens like it or not, we are going to be set free. So please, if you want to talk about any type of mental illness, and if you want to give any type of help, let's talk about post-traumatic slave syndrome. And let's talk about how can we fix that. Don't come to us with the solution. Go to your manhandlers, those that keep you individuals on top. Go to your politicians, go to your presidents, go to your government. Go to the One World Order. Go to the UN, the Bilderbergs. Go talk to them. Tell them what Moses told the Pharaoh. Let my people go. Because if you don't, bedtime. It's your boy Jones, man. I'm hollering. Peace.